when you started with Ritchie Brothers and meeting Dave, and I know you kind of touched on that, but can you expand, like, how was that, and your first impression, and how was it that you said, yes, this is it, this is how, or this is the company I want to be a part of?
Okay, so I finished that lunch with Dave. I get on a plane. I fly back to Tokyo. I reach out to Vic, probably by email, a week or so later, just to get a little bit of feedback. And he said, you know what, really positive. Like, executive team seems like there's a lot of interest. Just one problem. Dave doesn't Dave doesn't think so. But don't worry, don't worry. And I'm thinking, you know,
Oh no.
his name's on the door. What do you mean, don't worry? But so that actually, I think, incited in me a certain amount of competitive spirit, and I really wanted to get on board. And so I came back, I think, 3 or 4 more times to interview on my own dime to interview.
Really?
Wow.
It was that. So fast forward, in 2004, when I joined the company, I was doing trade shows, attending a lot of trade shows around North America, but also supporting speakers and things like that. So Dave was going to do a small presentation up in his hometown, Kelowna. I probably hadn't been back very often, but I drove up with the booth, the backdrop, much like what you have, and the PowerPoint presentation on a laptop. Set it all up. I drove over to the airport, and Dave came in. It was probably 2 hours before the presentation was due to start. And so Dave said, well, look, let's drive around. So I'm driving with Dave Ritchie around Kelowna, his hometown. He's showing me, this is where I live. This is where I used to play lacrosse. This is where my friends and I played hockey, everything. I was getting this full tour. And at the same time, he's talking about, the furniture store and how business started. It was just a phenomenal sort of hour and a half or 2 hours. And so we went and did the presentation. And the funny story is we got done, and Dave said, I want to thank Christian for setting up the presentation today. And I was wearing a name badge that said Kieran, but that, So somebody came up to me after and said, I thought your name was Christian. And I said, other people call me Kieran, but it's not important. My friends call me Christian. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, I never told him. And I till today. Sorry, Dave. But no, and he retired not long after that. I stepped down as CEO. He stayed active and remains, in the sense of attending auctions and seeing customers. He still does that today. But obviously, there's a whole new executive team and everything that's come up. We're now a generation or 2 generations removed from that. But Dave's Dave.
Right.
He's always that reminder of what's important in terms of customers and all that.